Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. Today is Tuesday, September 6th, 2016, and I'm going to be going over my lineup strategy for Fanduel's main slate for the MLB today. I haven't made a baseball video since Wednesday. Over the last few days, I've had one successful day on the MLB. Uh, September 3rd, which was, I believe, on Friday, I scored 188.9 points. Uh, Trevor Bauer was my pitcher. I had a Red Sox stack. I cashed for $34, profited $24, so that was a good night. But other than that, I really haven't done much. I didn't play yesterday because all the games were early. But, I'm off today, so, I'm ready for this new slate. It's daily fantasy. It's a new day, a new opportunity to be great, a new opportunity to be the best. So with that being said, I'm going to get started with this slate. This is going to be a tournament video. I'm not playing the cash games today, only tournaments. So I made two tournament lineups. I'm going to go over the one that I feel is more interesting to you guys. Okay, so for tournaments and GPPs today at pitcher, the player that I like is Jose Urena. That's who I have in my lineup right now for the Miami Marlins for 5,800 going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, if you're playing cash games, there's no way in the world I would play him. But for tournaments, I'm trying to be a little different, do something a little bold. The things that I like about Urena, for one, the ballpark that he's playing in, Marlins Park. We all know it's a pitcher's park, so that's to his advantage. Another thing that I like, his price tag, 5,800. It gives me the flexibility to spend up on higher price bets. And then the opponent, the Philadelphia Phillies, I don't feel they're that strong of an offense. So that's another thing that I like. And again, like I mentioned in previous videos, it's a National League game. So, when in a National League game, get the pitcher spot. Now, Urena, he doesn't really have high upside. If you look at his game log, the highest fantasy point total he got is 33. 33, and he got 32 one time on August 27th against San Diego. But if he can get, that 33 or maybe 40, I think that's good for me for my lineup today, considering that the rest of the bets that I spend up for, do a lot. So, when you think about the opponent, the Phillies, they played the game yesterday. I believe the Phillies won 6-2 or 6-4. But I was looking at the box score and everything. The Marlins had 3 errors on yesterday. So those 3 errors contributed to some of the runs that the Phillies scored. And prior to the game on yesterday, Philadelphia, their offense has really struggled. My team, the Atlanta Braves, they swept them. 3 straight games. They swept the Phillies. So their offense has been struggling. And then with the BVP statistics, only Tommy Joseph and I believe the guy named is Goodell, they both have home runs against Urena. Now, like I said, this is a tournament play only. It's risky, but at 5,800, if I stick him in my lineup, it allows me to spend up on other positions. But now I'm going to speak a little more sensible for you guys who think that play is just, super crazy. Now, if you're not feeling me with Jose Urena, I think my other lineup, actually, the top tournament play, also I believe a top cash game play, is Corey Kluber for the Cleveland Indians for 10,800. Corey Kluber, he was the AL pitcher of the month for the month of August. He definitely has a high fantasy point upside. If you look at his game log, his last game on August 31st, 60 fantasy points versus Minnesota. Game before that, 48. He had a down game on August 21st with 38 fantasy points, but prior to that, he has a 48 fantasy point game, a couple 50 fantasy point games. My point is, Kluber, he definitely has the potential and the upside to get in that 50 or even 60 fantasy point range. He's playing against the Houston Astros, a team that's right-handed heavy. And with Kluber being a right-handed pitcher, I think that works into his advantage. Also, the Astros, their starting pitcher for today is this guy named Peacock, who they just called up from the minors. I think that fact gives the Cleveland Indians, it increases the win security for the Cleveland Indians. And for Fanduel, you need those 12 points. So, all those factors, the pitcher for the Astros not being that good, a good Cleveland team, number one in the AL Central with a good offense, and Corey Kluber's upside, I think he's a great play. Definitely for cash games, and for tournaments, definitely if he can get up to that 50, 60 fantasy point range. But as you know, when you spend up for a pitcher at that price, you have to be really strategic with the rest of your lineup. So I think he's a good play for tournaments and for cash games. I'm going to go over some other pitchers who I think may be good for tournaments. Tim Anderson of the Colorado Rockies. Now, I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. The game is at Coors Field, but if you've been following baseball over the last week or so, the San Francisco Giants, they have really, really struggled. I watched MLB Network early this morning, and I think of Mark DeRosa. He was saying that the last 5 games, the Giants has been held to 4 hits or less in the last 5 games. Or it may have been 4 runs or less. I'm not sure. But I think it's 4 hits or less in the last 5 games. And their offense has just basically struggled. If you paid attention to the games yesterday, Chad Betts, I believe that's a pitcher name for the Rockies, he shut out the Giants. I think they won 2-0. A complete game shutout at Coors Field. So I know Coors Field has the thin air, the high elevation and everything. But, I mean, when you look at the numbers, if you wasn't considering the ballpark, Tyler Anderson, is in a great spot, to have a good game tonight against a struggling San Francisco Giants team. And again, it's in a National League park. So, I can't pull the trigger, but if you're one of those players who make multiple lineups, I definitely say consider using Tyler Anderson if the weather is good and everything, because the Giants, they have really, really struggled. And it showed yesterday, Chad Betts, complete game shutout. So I think Tyler Anderson for the Rockies will be an interesting tournament play. A lot of people scared to make that move, but if you can afford to do it, that's a viable option for tournaments. And I'm going to see if there's any other pitchers that I was considering. I considered Odorizzi for Tampa Bay because of the ballpark at Tropicana Field, but the BVP statistics that the Orioles have, I think their lineup have career 10 home runs versus Odorizzi. And the Baltimore Orioles are one of the top teams in the whole majors as far as total home runs hit this season. So that's a little too risky for me. But I did have slight interest in Odorizzi. Also, Gio Gonzalez for the Washington Nationals. I believe the Nationals are in a good spot to get the win. But, the Braves, they're inconsistent. We're a bad team, but for some reason, some nights they get on hot streaks. Now, they just lost. The Braves lost yesterday, but prior to that, they were on a 6-game winning streak. They swept the Phillies, and they swept the Padres. So they was on a 6-game winning streak. So I don't want to pick on my team, but Gio Gonzalez, he could be a possible good play. And just going to look through the player pool, that pitcher. I had slight interest in Nolasco for the Los Angeles Angels, mainly because of his last game. The last game, he pitched a complete game shutout, had 60 fantasy points. And that was at Cincinnati, at Great American Ballpark. Now, the game tonight, he's playing against Oakland, is at the Oakland Athletics Stadium, and that's considered a pitcher's park. So, Nolasco, that's another play if you want to save money, but I don't know how likely it is he would have back-to-back 60 fantasy point games. If you look at his game log, prior to the 60 fantasy points, his highest total was like a 45 back in May. So Nolasco, he's interesting because of the ballpark and definitely because of what he did the last game. But I can't pull the trigger on that one neither. And just looking through, and the last player at pitcher position that I'll slightly considered for tournaments and GPPs was Clay Buchholz of the Boston Red Sox. Now, the Padres, they are a very, very bad team. They're a good team to pick on. They've been struggling lately. But typically, they perform pretty bad against left-handed pitchers. Now, Buchholz is a right-handed pitcher. The Padres do have some decent left-handed bats, in my opinion. I think Ryan Schimpf, Dickerson, Solarte, I think they're decent players. So I can understand why you would want to use Buchholz. He could have a good game, but he's too inconsistent. You know, sometimes the Red Sox have him as a starter. Sometimes he come out the bullpen. If you look at his game log though, versus Tampa Bay on August 23rd, he had a 55 fantasy point game. So he has the potential, but this game is on the road. So, you know, I think it might be a trap. I really, really consider Buchholz because, like I said, the Padres, they have really, really struggled. We know that the Red Sox have a good offense, so the win security seems like it should be there. But I believe yesterday the final score of the game was 2-1. I may be mistaken, but I think the Red Sox and the Padres yesterday, the final score was 2-1. I'm not sure, but Buchholz, he's an interesting play at pitcher also. And other than that, I don't really see any other pitchers that I like for tournaments and GPPs. Again, Corey Kluber, I think good cash game play, definitely. And definitely could be a good tournament play if you get that 60-point upside. But, you know, trying to be bold and try to make a bold move tonight for this one lineup, I got Jose Urena for the Miami Marlins. Hopefully he can get me, I'm hoping he can get 30, but it would be great if he can get like 40 fantasy points. We'll see. Now, for the rest of my lineup, for this particular lineup, I based it around a stack of one team and a few other one-off plays. Now, the team that I'm stacking is the Washington Nationals. Now, yesterday on Labor Day, the Nationals, Dusty Baker, he decided to rest a lot of his veteran players. Bryce Harper, he rested. Daniel Murphy, he rested. Ramos, he rested. So I'm assuming they're going to play today. And the pitcher for the Braves today is Williams Perez. Now, Perez, he's just getting his first start back after, you know, spending some time in the minor leagues. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, and he's not that great of a pitcher, but he's not horrible. Now, Williams Perez, he finds a way to get outs. But like I said, he doesn't have like an overpowering fastball. And being that this is his first game back in the majors tonight, I like the Nationals as a stack tonight. And so the way I stack the Nationals, at second base, I use Daniel Murphy, outfield, Bryce Harper, another outfielder, Trey Turner, and then at catcher, Wilson Ramos. As far as BVP statistics, Daniel Murphy is 3 for 6 with one career home run versus Perez, lefty versus righty matchup. Bryce Harper, he's 1 for 4 with the one career home run, lefty versus righty matchup also. And Trey Turner, we all know about him. He typically leads off, a great base runner, gets on base. I got him and Wilson Ramos. He's 0 for 3 against Perez, small sample size, but on the season, 309, 20 home runs. So I like him to fill out that stack. Now, like I said, those 4 players, they're all, in terms of Murphy, Turner, and Ramos, they all, you know, hit for a good average. Bryce Harper not hitting for a good average, but he definitely had the power upside. And with 3 of those players having the day off yesterday, I think they're in a great spot to score some runs tonight. And so I stacked the Nationals. Now, I'm going to go through each position, starting with catcher. Like I said, I got Ramos, but excluding the stack, other catchers tonight, for tournaments and GPPs. As far as BVP plays, Salvador Perez, I think he's a good play going up against the Minnesota Twins and Irvin Santana. Let me see. He has one career home run against Santana. Also, Buster Posey in a lefty versus righty matchup at Coors Field. Now, he haven't homered in a long time, but he has one career home run against Anderson. So Posey, but I wouldn't pay that price for him for $4,000. But he's in play if you can afford it. I definitely like Jonathan Lucroy, lefty versus righty matchup going up against Paxton of the Mariners. But Lucroy at 3,200, I think he's a great play. A BVP statistic play. Montero for the Chicago Cubs going up against Peralta. Let me see. Where did I write that? He's batting .364 with one career home run. I believe is the sample size is 11 at bats. But lefty versus righty matchup, good park in Miller Park in Milwaukee. His price tag is $2,300. Great price tag. Need to save some money somewhere. The catcher for the Cubs, Montero. That's if he starts. Brian McCann, he has one career home run against who is it? Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez, the pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Yankee Stadium, good for left-handed power. It's a full slate tonight, so I don't want to just make the video too long and go through all the pitchers, but I hope y'all get my point. Those are some of the top plays, but like for my stack, I got Wilson Ramos. Now moving on to the next position, first base. I really didn't analyze this position much. I just like this player, Anthony Rizzo for the Chicago Cubs for 4,200. Listen to these BVP statistics versus Peralta. In 28 career at-bats, he's batting .500, 14 for 28 with 5 career home runs. Great spot. Rizzo, he went hitless yesterday because I picked him on my MLB Beat the Streak game that I play, and he went hitless. I think he went 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. So he should be motivated to come out and make up for that poor performance on yesterday. And considering those BVP statistics, he's just someone I wanted to play. So Rizzo, he's my favorite play at first base. Of course, if you don't have the salary to spend for him, there's some other options. Ortiz, he probably not going to play because it's a National League game. I think Votto could be good. The guy for the Mets, I'm not familiar with the pitcher. Montero, I think this is his first start. So, at Great American Ballpark, lefty versus righty matchup, I could see Votto. Miguel Cabrera, Miggy, great BVP statistics versus Gonzalez, the pitcher for the White Sox. Let me find that. He's batting .462 with one career home run. Excuse me. U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago is supposed to be good for right-handed power. So Miguel Cabrera, he had 2 home runs on yesterday. Could be getting a little hot. He's definitely a great play. 3,600. See. Like I said, it's a full slate, so I don't want to make it too long. Oh, definitely. Jose Abreu. I really, really like him. Lefty versus righty matchup. Good BVP statistics versus Boyd. Let's see if I can find that. I think he's 3 for 7 with one career home run versus Boyd. So definitely Abreu. Believe he homered on yesterday too. Let me see if I can find it. No, he homered. He had 2 home runs 2 days ago on September 4th. My mistake. So Jose Abreu at a good price. He's a good play. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about first base. I'm going to keep it moving. Like I said, second base, I got Murphy. But other options at second base, Brian Dozier. They done got his price to $4,300. He has excellent BVP statistics versus Dylan G. Let me see that. He's batting .357 with 3 career home runs. I think it's a decent sample size, but he hit 3 home runs on yesterday. The guy's on fire. 38 home runs on the season. Dozier, in my opinion, he might be a better cash game play because, a lot of people know about him. But, for tournaments, that price is kind of high. So I probably would fade him for tournaments. Plus, I think there are some weather concerns in Minnesota. So, but Dozier, he's a great player. You could play him, but it's a high price tag. Forsythe leading off, I think he's a decent play. I love Jason Kipnis tonight. After the Washington Nationals, the Cleveland Indians are my next favorite stack. The left-handed hitters for Cleveland. So your Kipnis, your Lindors, Santanas, Ramirez, Naquin, Chisenhall, all those lefties for Cleveland. They're like my second favorite stack of the night. I actually have them in my second lineup. But Kipnis, at a price tag of $3,500, going up against this guy coming from the minors, I definitely think he's a good play at second base. Just going through the player pool. Maybe Chase Utley. Shelby Miller isn't all that great. Chase Utley's batting .333 career versus Shelby Miller. D. Gordon has a very, very low price, but that's a lefty versus lefty matchup. D. Gordon, $2,400. He's not the same player since he's come back from his suspension, but that price tag is very, very low. And another thing I want to mention, if y'all believe in my Braves, I'm just unsure about them tonight, but they stacking up a lot of right-handers in their lineup. I see Gordon Beckham is $2,100, so you got Garcia, Beckham, Kemp, Flowers. The Braves could be a sneaky stack. We all know their salary prices are normally pretty low, so they could be a good play. Gordon Beckham at second base. And honestly, that's about all I see at second base. I'm going to move on to the next position. At third base, a BVP play that I like is Kyle Seager for $3,400 for the Seattle Mariners. Career versus the pitcher Perez, he's batting .370 with 3 career home runs. I love picking Seager because his price is always just right. It's never too high. It's not too low. He's always priced at, the appropriate price. But mainly because of those BVP statistics. And a lot of people probably won't be on him because of the lefty-lefty matchup. So I love Kyle Seager today for tournaments at third base. Other options, I'm really not interested in the high-priced guys like Donaldson. I'm not interested in him. I think it's some weather concerns at Yankee Stadium. But Todd Frazier could be a good play. $3,800 lefty versus righty matchup at that ballpark. Frazier definitely could be in play. A White Sox stack could be in play also. Maybe you get Frazier, Abreu, Anderson, and maybe Eaton or somebody else. But I could definitely see a White Sox stack working. Corisfield, Arenado, of course, considering him. Adrian Beltre, good BVP statistics. Lefty versus righty matchup. He's batting .500 with 1 career home run versus Paxton. And I believe the sample size is 10 at-bats. So definitely, Beltre, he's a good play. But Beltre and Seager, they're the same price, $3,400. I just made my decision based on Seager being at home, and the ownership might be lower because of the lefty-lefty matchup. But if you're playing cash games, I think Beltre may be better. For tournaments, I like Seager. And Valencia for Oakland, he has 1 career home run versus Nolasco. Jose Reyes for the Mets, good price, below $3,000, $2,900, leading off today. Garcia, like I said, the Braves, they all price low. So if you have Kluber, the Braves could be a good option to stack to combine with Kluber. But that's about it for third base. Like I said, a BVP play. Kyle Seager, I like him. Shortstop, this was a salary decision. I got Tim Anderson for $2,900. I believe he's 3 for 9 versus Boyd for the Detroit Tigers, batting .333. The ballpark, U.S. Cellular Field. I heard the guys on Roto Grinders say that it's good for right-handed power. Tim Anderson, the right-handed hitter, facing the lefty. Only 7 home runs on the season, but he typically bats high in the order. One either leads off, or I think he normally bats second. So I definitely like him. But other than him, because that was a salary decision, at shortstop, Um, Maybe Corey Seager for the Dodgers. I believe he homered on last night. I actually like Lindor because, like I said, Cleveland Indians are my favorite stack, and he's a switch hitter. Definitely consider Brad Miller. His price done went down to 3,200. He kills right-handed pitching. So Brad Miller, that's a tough ballpark in Tropicana Field. But Brad Miller is a great tournament play at shortstop. If you watch any of the other videos, y'all know he's one of my favorite players to pick. Peraza for Cincinnati, he's leading off, 2,700. Let me see. Yeah, Peraza, I think he's a decent play. And that's about it for shortstop. As I was looking at the player pool, I see Espinoza is starting. He's batting 8th, so, you know, he's a left-handed batter for the Nationals. 21 home runs on the season, so he could be a decent play also. Now, let me move on to the last position on the outfield. Like I said, I got Turner and Harper in here as part of my national stack. And another player I like, a BVP play, Nelson Cruz, going up against a lefty. Now, I love the BVP statistics. Batting .571 with 2 career home runs versus Perez. Cruz, you look at his game log, the last 4 games, he's got 3 home runs. Kind of a high price tag of 3,900, but I like him for tournaments and GPPs tonight. He could also be good for cash because a lot of players out there, whenever Nelson Cruz is playing a left-handed pitcher, you know, he has high ownership, so you don't want to be left behind the field and not have him. So he could be good for cash also. But again, with a full slate, other outfielders, Yoenis Cespedes, definitely a good play. Lefty versus righty matchup at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. I wrote it down. Yeah, he does have 1 career home run versus Brandon Finnegan. I'm not going to talk about the Coors Field exposure. Y'all already know. Always consider players at Coors Field. Adam Jones for the Baltimore Orioles. Great BVP statistics. Batting .393 with 2 career home runs versus Odorizzi. But it's a tough ballpark in Tropicana Field. And just trying to find the main outfielders I think are good for tonight. Parra for the Colorado Rockies. Great BVP statistics. .381 with one career home run versus Samardzija. Lefty versus righty matchup as well. And video getting kind of long. That's about it I see in the outfield position for tonight. So again, to recap this particular lineup, I got 2 tonight. I'm being bold, trying Jose Urena at pitcher because of the ballpark, the opponent, it being a National League game, and his low salary price. And for my lineup, I'm stacking the Washington Nationals. I really like them going up against Williams Perez, you know, just being recalled back up from the minors. And I mixed it in with a few one-offs who have great BVP statistic plays. Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Seager, and Nelson Cruz. But it's about 3:38 here where I'm at in Decatur, Georgia. So all the lineup information hasn't come out. So I probably will be making some adjustments. But what I have for now, I really like, even though I've been struggling with the MLB lately. I'm not going to fully go over my other lineup. I'll just tell you what it is. I got Corey Kluber, and I based this lineup on the Indian stack, you know, the tribe. Based it around Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, Lonnie Chisenhall, and got Kluber, of course. And then I also put a mini stack of the Chicago Cubs with Miguel Montero, Anthony Rizzo, and Soler, who's underpriced at $2,300. But again, the starting lineups haven't come out. A one-off play I got in here, I forgot to mention, Jake Lamb. I think he's a great tournament play tonight at third base. $2,900 lefty versus righty matchup. he was struggling a couple of weeks ago, but he's been playing better lately. So I think he's a great tournament play as well. So, that's about it for my lineup strategies for tournaments tonight. Again, I got Urena at pitcher in one, and I got Kluber as a pitcher in the other one. I'm basing it around a National stack in one, and I'm basing around a Cleveland Indians stack, the Tribe, in the other one. So that's about it for my lineup strategy. As always, thank you to everyone who's taking the time out to view this video. Thank you so much to everyone who subscribed. We're up to like 65 subscribers, so hopefully it can continue to grow. Thank you for everyone who's joined the Facebook group. Hashtag Be The Best DFS. We up to like 140 members. Thanks to everyone who's following on Twitter at Be The Best DFS. And also thank you to everyone who's following the Instagram account at Be The Best DFS. If you want to contact me or anything, just search hashtag Be The Best across all social media outlets. And definitely, I just want to thank everybody for all y'all support. The struggle has been real in this MLB. It's tough when you only make one, maybe two lineups, because it's like all 30 teams playing. So you have to find those right stacks and combine them with the right pitchers. But, I'm going to keep grinding, I just count the wins as blessings, and the losses teach lessons. So I think that's about it. I hope y'all like the NFL video I put out about a few days ago. I'm going to come out with another NFL video this Thursday. It's going to be the truth, because I got some good plays on the NFL. I feel more confident about the football compared to this baseball. But today it's all about the MLB. And like I said, today is a new opportunity. Put the past struggles and losses behind you and focus on tonight, because tonight can be a good night. Any of us can win like a lot of money tonight. You just never know unless you give it a shot and do the research and put together the best lineup you can put up. But the video done got too long. It's over 30 minutes, so I guess I'll put it to a close. And thanks again, everyone. And like always, try to be the best tonight. All right, I'm out.